If you've ever wondered why anxiety, numbness, or panic still show up long after the traumatic event is over, you're not alone and you're not broken. In video 1, we'll lay the foundation by unpacking what trauma really is, not just a disturbing event, but a lasting imprint on the brain and body that can trap survivors in survival mode long after the danger has passed. You'll learn how trauma hijacks the nervous system through fight, flight, freeze, and shutdown responses, and why it's not a matter of willpower. In video 2, we'll explore how trauma distorts memory, triggers physical symptoms, and keeps the body in a constant state of stress, often leading to chronic pain, dissociation, or emotional numbness. Finally, in video 3, we'll look at how trauma affects relationships and self-worth, from difficulty with trust and intimacy to the shame that causes people to disconnect from others and even from themselves, and what healing can look like when connection is rebuilt slowly, safely, and on the body's terms. A lot of people feel overwhelmed by books like The Body Keeps the Score, and honestly, I was too. It's long, intense, and packed with real-life trauma stories that can be hard to read. But it's also one of the most important guides we have for understanding what trauma really does to a person, not just emotionally, but physically. If you've ever struggled with anxiety, burnout, emotional numbness, or chronic stress, this might explain why. Stick around to learn how trauma reshapes your brain, body, and relationships, and how it might be showing up in your life without you realizing it. What is trauma, really? Most of us define trauma as a terrible event, a car crash, a war zone, abuse, but that's only half the picture. Trauma isn't just the event, it's what happens inside you afterward. Two people can experience the same situation, but one might walk away and heal, while the other gets mentally and physically stuck. That stuckness is what defines trauma. Psychiatrist Dr. Bessel van der Kolk says, trauma is not just an event that took place in the past. It's also the imprint left by that experience on mind, brain, and body. In other words, trauma isn't over when it's over. The body stores it, and that imprint can distort how we see, feel, and respond to the world long after the danger is gone. A real example from a community story. One story shared online illustrates this well. A veteran asked his community to avoid fireworks around the 4th of July. He explained that the sudden booms triggered flashbacks to his time in Iraq. Each explosion sent his body into panic, dropping to the ground, re-experiencing the threat as if he were back in a war zone. He wasn't overreacting. His nervous system was genuinely stuck in survival mode. It wasn't a matter of willpower. His body and brain were reliving a trauma loop. This story highlights how trauma can hijack a person's sense of time and safety. Even long after the danger is gone, the body still reacts as if it's happening now. It doesn't just disrupt the mind, it impacts everyday life, relationships, and even community interactions. How trauma changes the brain. To understand what's going on, we need a basic look at how the brain responds to threat. 1. The brainstem, your survival brain. Think reflexes and instinct. 2. The limbic system, the emotional brain. This is where fight, flight, freeze reactions live. 3. The prefrontal cortex, the rational brain. It helps you think clearly and make decisions. In a dangerous moment, your prefrontal cortex shuts down. Your survival systems take over. This is helpful if you're able to fight back, flee, or escape. But if you can't, your body shuts down, your heart rate slows. You may go numb or dissociate, like watching your life from the outside. Van der Kolk says that immobilization is at the root of many traumas. It's not just the pain, it's the powerlessness. What happens when the brain can't reset? The problem is, trauma survivors often stay stuck in that emergency state. They don't just remember the trauma, their nervous system relives it. Their body keeps bracing for an impact that's no longer coming, and over time, that leads to all kinds of symptoms: memory problems, anxiety and rage, numbness or emotional shutdown, physical pain or illness, difficulty in relationships. And that's just the beginning. Now, to really get the most out of this series, take a moment to pause and reflect. These questions are here to help you retain what you've learned and begin applying it to your own healing journey. There's no right or wrong answer, just be honest with yourself. 1. Can you identify a time in your life when you felt stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or shutdown mode? What triggered it, and how did your body respond? 2. After watching this video, how has your understanding of trauma shifted from a past event to something stored in the body? In part 2, we'll explore how trauma reshapes memory, why some survivors can't feel safe even in safe places, and how your body stores trauma long after the event has passed. Grab your free trauma healing workbook in the description and see description for link part 2 when you're ready.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.